We're live.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host this afternoon, Brooklyn, Black Vail. We are here live in beautiful and chilly Prince Edward Island. Joining me today is our co-hostess with the mostest, Caleb Mashed Potatoes. Caleb, how's it going, man?
What's up, guys? Mashed potatoes here. It's going really well. It's also chilly here in Chicago. I'm laughing my ass off at Tim. He's just so overwhelmed. Oh, geez, it's great. I'm excited for this announcement. This is a cool thing that is also, gets back to our roots of being inspired by the Schmodown. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Joining me today is also TM Smith. TM, how we doing, man?
You Haven. God damn it! I feel like pissed off Cobster. Other than that, yeah, this will be a good special announcement, a good intro to it. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the league goes along with this, to see the interest and participation. So, yeah, I'm ready for this.
In my defense, while I was waiting for you to go like this, your camera went blank. So I had to wait for Caleb I had to wait for either the live symbol to go up or for Caleb to give me the finger. So enough about that. Why?
I'm always here to give you the finger.
I got a finger right there for you, Brooklyn.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate your kind words. So the big announcement today. We have been chatting it up, and we thought it was a good idea to run a contest with the Showdown Spectacular. We thought that it would be a good idea to do somewhat of a prediction contest, just to see how much everybody knows about the Schmodown itself, if they can pick up on patterns. So, how this is going to work is, after this video is done, there's going to be an event page going up on the Schmoes Bros Trivia Show Facebook page. You are going to submit a video predicting all 6 matches on the Schmodown Spectacular. Those matches, again, just to confirm, are the Manager Bowl, the 4-way match between Tom Dagnino, Ricky Hayberg, Jay Washington, and Emma Fife. Then after that, you have the Intergita match of Jason Inman versus Hector Navarro. After that, you have the stipulation match of Team Action versus Top 10. After that is the Star Wars Championship of Sam Witwer versus the now new heel Ken Knapsack. And then our main event is the Inglorious One Sam Levine taking on the commissioner, Christian Harloff. So you're going to submit a video predicting who are going to win those matches. Whoever gets the most correct is going to have the moniker of Mr. or Miss Spectacular for the entire year. So anytime you compete in our league, you will now be known as Mr. or Miss Spectacular. Now, Brooklyn, you might ask, what happens in the event of a tie? Well, thank you, imaginary person, for asking that question. How it's going to work is
just the fucking 3 of us.
in the event of a tie, how it's going to work is the person with the best record in the championship matches. So, let's say if Caleb, Tim, and I are the only 3 people to compete, and we somehow all got 5 out of 6 correct. How it would work is we would then go to the championship matches. So that would be all of them except for the Manager Bowl and the number 1 contender. The number 1 contender match. So let's say Caleb was 4-0. He would, so if Caleb was 4-0, say if you got all the championship matches right, and then myself and TM each got one of them wrong, then that would mean Caleb is Mr. Spectacular. Now what happens is if we all get the same record in the championship matches, what's going to happen is you will Now this is regardless of what happens. This is going to be going on in the event of that. What you're going to put at the end of your video is a point total of how many points you think are going to be scored in the entire spectacular. Now, I did some research before this video. I looked up every other similar match that we've had in the past year and videos from last spectacular. There was about a total of 240 points scored. So that's just kind of a line to set. You might want to go a little over, a little under. You never know if the manager bowl is going to be a shit show, or if like the team match is going to be another record breaker. You just never know. So at the end of your video, you're gonna tell us how many points you think are going to be scored in all 3 videos of the Schmodown. So, without further ado, I'm sure that you want to hear our three cards as to see who is going to win. Who's going to win? So our first match is the Manager Bowl. We have Tom Dagnino versus Jay Washington versus Emma Fyfe versus Ricky Hayberg. And the winner of this match gets one person from their faction in a number 1 contenders match. TM, let's go to you first. Who do you have winning this and why?
Out of these 4, I would have to say Jay Washington, because out of the 4, he's probably the most, I guess you could say, regular. Because with Emma Fyfe, we've just seen her. We saw her with one Inner Geekdom match. It didn't go so hot. And her tag matches with the Night Sisters was not good as well. So I think she'll score points, but I don't think she's going to win it. And with Tom Dagnino, he can have a decent match, or he shits the bed like usual Tom Dagnino, even when he was Finstock. But I still think out of the 4, Jay Washington would be the most consistent, and I'd go with him for the win. Now, who he gives the number 1 shot to, it could be himself, it could be Stacy, it could be Miss Movies, Brienne, we don't know. So it'll be an interesting choice, but I'm going to go with Jay Washington.
Excellent. Let's Caleb, who do you have winning the 4-way?
I actually have Jay also. He if you ask me, like Tim said, that he's a consistent player. He's been, everything but that Inner Geekdom match with Robert Meyer Burnett. He's consistently put up points, at least. The only other person I might be concerned about is Ricky. But, he hasn't played in, forever, so I'm not too worried about him. And then Dagnino, I mean, he has his days, but at the same time, the majority of the time, he's below average. And then Emma's even worse, unfortunately. She doesn't put up good matches. So yeah, I got to give it to Jay Washington.
Nice. So I'm gonna go against the grain here. I was torn between Jay Washington and Tom Dagnino. I think Ricky Hayberg and Emma Fyfe are write-offs. Emma Fyfe in regular movie trivia hasn't done the greatest, and I think Ricky Hayberg's last match was the number 1 contender match against Wolves of Steel, and he had a really poor performance there. It was essentially Elliot carrying that team, essentially since day 1. So and
that's what he was saying from day 1. So
I have Tom Dagnino winning this match, and here's why. Jay Washington is good at Inner Geekdom. I will give you that. The only thing that has me concerned about Jay Washington winning is you look at his first match that he had against Mark Andreyko, and that was a poor match on both sides. Enrico nearly edged out a win. So I think it comes down to their weaknesses, which one shows up the more. Dagnino's weaknesses being essentially Inner Geekdom, and then Jay Washington's being like classic Westerns directors, just like that those Oscar-y kind of movies, I guess would be the best way to say it. And I think Tom knows a little more Inagita than Jay does outside of that realm. So I am going to, but I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if Jay won it as well.
I just like one more like 2 cents. I think Jay is actually has more of Dagnino's strengths than Dagnino has of Jay's weaknesses. Because like I mean, he's also good at those like '90s movies, '80s movies, and sports movies. So like it's not. He's not just an Intergeekdom competitor. I wouldn't say.
I look at it at his last like his match with Draco was poor, and like as an Draco fan, I was bummed at that match because like it was a shit performance on both sides.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So next is the Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. Caleb, what do you
got? Despite his recent heel turn and the despicable thing he did to Rachel Cushing, I still got to give it to Ken Knapsack. I mean, the guy's beaten Sam Witwer twice. And the guy, like, this is what he knows. This is, like, the thing that he excels at as Star Wars. And Sam, like, put up an impressive match getting in there, but we've seen him stumble at the big show before. So I got to go with Ken.
TM, what do you got?
More than anything, after our last, first taste of Star Wars with Celebration match that the crew of Collider did and Ken winning that, I think with Sam Witwer, he's going to be more hungry and determined to get that title, regardless of Ken's heel turn or whatever you call it. I still feel Sam is hungry and going to want that title. That for the first one, he did outstanding, missing one question out of that whole thing, one small mistake, or that could have been his. So I think Witwer redeems his loss and then takes that title.
I'm going to agree with TM and say that Sam is going to win. I personally loved Ken's heel turn. I thought it was great. It kind of shook up the league a little bit, something nobody really saw coming. I personally thought Ken was going to be always that bipartisan person that was just going to ride the line pretty firm. Although I think that storyline is going to be his weakness. I'm worried that he is going to be maybe a little bit too focused on keeping that heel persona. Also, I know it kind of goes against trends because you look at Jeremy Johns, who had that run in Intergeekdom and then ended up losing the championship match. I think that goes I'm going to go opposite with that with Witwer. I think Witwer had a really good performance at the 5-way. I think he pulled some really good questions, and I think that run is going to take him in, and he's going to be able to just slightly edge Knapsack. I have Witwer by like 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it goes like sudden death for like fucking 10 rounds, dude. I'm expecting this to go overtime, like as far as they can. Like I want them to run out of questions.
All right, so next we have the Intergeekdom Championship match. That is Jason Edmond coming off of two wins. The first one against Emma Fife, and the second one, and that's the 4-way with Kalinowski, Coy Jandro, Rachel Cushing, and Jay Washington. He's going up against Hector Navarro, who has yet to lose this year. I'll go first, and I will say that Jason Edmond is going to win. I think he's once again he's going to carry that momentum that he has from the 5-way and the match against Fife, and just carry that and beat Navarro. I think Navarro might be even a little bit too rusty. I know we were talking earlier that Navarro had a weaker performance against Johns. Um, so yeah, I think he's going to be able to pull it out. Caleb, what do you think?
I think that I gotta disagree with you on the winner. I think it's gonna be Navarro. I picked Navarro on my fantasy team, and he's been there like the top of my team ever since. He's great. I gotta stick with Hector Navarro. Like Jason Inman is great. He's proven himself, worthy finally. It took long enough. But I don't know. I think Navarro is going to come back off of that poor performance against Johns, and he's gonna have studied harder and filled in those gaps a little bit. And I think he's going to be a real threat. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight, but I think Navarro takes it.
Awesome. TM, who do you have in the Intergeekdom Champion?
Well, I have with Navarro, or not Navarro winning, with Jason Inman winning. But to hearken on what you said earlier, Brooklyn, with these past few matches, he's gotten stronger. I feel it started more with the team tournament with Scott Mance, because we all know how rowdy and unstable Scott Mance can get a lot of the time, more than John Roca at the time. But Roca has calmed down. He's been able to focus more. And Inman was the factor that was able to get Scott Mance to focus more. So I think from the team tournament all the way on, I think that started focusing Jason Inman more. Plus, he has wanted in there ever since Robert Meyer Burnett basically told him, "Go sit down, kid. You don't matter."
Well, since
So
before that, he was like emailing Christian about wanting to be in that first match, and he
yeah,
didn't get on.
yeah. But I have that feeling that he's going to take that, and I still feel that rustiness because Hector Navarro is also busy with other projects that he works on, with a lot of podcasts and different shows with YouTube.
Playing
He's going to,
D&D.
yeah, and he's going to be rusty, and I think that rust is going to hit him. Where Jason has been, whether it's regular trivia, team trivia, inner geekdom, he's been in there to knock off that rust. So I think he'll outdo Navarro. I don't think it's going to be a knockout. It's going to go to the last round, but it's going to be Inman pulling out the win.
Excellent, excellent. All right, let's move on to our first of the two team matches. We have the stipulation match as it's being booked in the spectacular. We have Team Action taking on Team Top 10. And the stipulations are if Team Action wins, they get a title shot, and Team Top 10 has to break up for a year. And if Team Top 10 wins, they get a number 1 contenders match. And I'm not sure who that is against. There have been rumors of it being Team Top That. TM, since you were last time, who do you have winning the stipulation match?
Well, as a member of the Facebook group Outlaw Nation, I want to stick with the Outlaw, with the mighty Matt Nose. I want to stick with Top 10 because overall, I do feel they are a better team. Team Action in their first win against them honestly lucked out with with player's choice and opponent's choice. Player's choice, they were decent, but they weren't as strong as they're supposed to be, and they've been like that for a good many matches. I have a feeling if Top 10 has better luck, they'll actually win. And for the number 1 contender, I mean, you have a lot of teams. You could have Modoc in there. You could have oh Christ, you could have a lot of heavy hitter teams or Team Top That, like you said. It could be interesting, but I have the faith that Matt and John will bring the win.
Excellent. Caleb, who do you got?
I gotta agree with TM over here. I got Top 10. Outlaw Nation all the way, man. I've been a fan of Roka since forever. So there's no real surprise in me picking that. Don't get me wrong, I love Action Army. They're great guys, but uh, dude, it's got to be top 10. I think what's going to give them the edge is that Roka's been playing this more genteel character lately, and but with these guys, he can really let loose and get his blood going, which I feel like honestly makes him better. He always does more well, I think, if he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. So as much as I love Top 10, like I've been listening to that podcast as of recently. It's fucking awesome. I wasn't always a big fan of John Roca, but I'm coming on to him now. I actually got kicked out of the movie trivia showdown Facebook group a little bit ago for making a John Roca meme that blew up. It was the day after he lost championship to Mark Riley, and I made a meme about him choking, and it just blew up.
Oh shit!
Did they kick you out for that?
No,
It was a spoiler, sort of.
There was a comment made, and then he and I got into it, and then I got kicked out, and then I was brought back in by one of the admins. So I was just like, I won't make any memes. Like, I'll just try and say. I think that was the only controversial thing I pushed. Like, I used to do like picking up between 1 and 20, and I'll do like questions and stuff. Or I think I used to do sort out of the day. Anyways, we're getting off track here. As much as I fucking hate those little chicken shits team action, I think they are going to win. Team action has just proven, like, with the exception of their loss against Above the Line, and I think that was partially because their unfamiliarity with the 5-round format. Maybe they didn't study enough, or they're just a little inexperienced. I do think they have it. They have it here. I'm finding it hard to find a weakness, I guess, in action, the team action. Like, there hasn't really been a category where they were like, oh shit. And also I think it comes down to Andrew versus Matt. I think Ben Bateman and John Roca are going to be pretty close. They kind of cancel each other out. And I think Andrew has us slightly. Matt knows he's an awesome guy. I just think he can be spotty at times, and this might be a time where he's a little cold.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't agree, but no, I mean, yeah, he can be spotty, but like I don't think with this on the line, I don't think Nost is going to be coming in like anything less than top of his game.
Yeah, I won't be mad if top 10 wins. Like, if top 10 wins, I'll be like fucking right. Like, I want to see those fucking chicken shits team action lose, but I just think they're gonna win by a touch. Next up is the team title match. We have the Patriots, who have yet to lose all year, versus Above the Line, who formed literally months ago and then took the world by storm, just dominating the team ultimate showdown. They broke the point score total records against Wolves of Steel. Yeah. So TM, who do you got?
I mean, nothing. I mean, my partner Mark's gonna watch this probably and just hate me for this, but sorry, Mark, I'm not voting for the Patriots. Granted, the Patriots have proven why they are the top team deserving of the championships, winning it from the last year's spectacular, carrying them all year at what, a 7-0 record overall, and they've proven they've been dominant. But like you said, this team just formed a few months ago with Above the Line, and they took the Schmodown by storm. No one expected this. No one saw it coming. And Sam Levine, I think this helped him focus up more with teaming with the Godfather. And I have that feeling with Sam and Drew. They've focused each other. They've sharpened each other. I feel that it's going to come down. They are going to win. What it's really going to rely on is, I think, how they do with the speed round. The Patriots have been dominant with the speed round, but I still believe Drew and Sam could come away and win it all.
Yeah. I personally have the Patriots winning this match. This is another super torn one for me because I have them on the line of my fantasy, and they've been one of the greatest things to happen. They have me in a pretty comfortable lead right now. But with that being said, going back to the Schmodown Facebook group, if you look back to one of my posts back in January of this year, I predicted that the Patriots were going to hold the belts for the entire year. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stick to my word, and I believe the Patriots are gonna win.
Boo.
The only matches that they've played all year are championship matches, so they're comfortable with the format. I think they have the edge in speed round. They also have the edge of no spinners and opponent's choice. Something that's really helped above the line. And as much chemistry as there is between both teams, I think there's a little more between Jeff and JTE. They definitely fill each other's weaknesses, and yeah, they've proven time and time again why they're the best. I don't like when they win all the time, but they're like the New England Patriots team themselves. I fucking hate the New England Patriots, but goddamn do I respect them. Caleb, who do you got?
I gotta agree with you there, Brooklyn. I think it's gonna be the Pats. The Patriots, like you said, they've been dominant all year. And JTE has been dominant all year, like in his matches. Like he has been killing it lately. Only lost to Sam, which it's respectable. There's Sam, he's there, but they've got every advantage going into this. Like every single one. They've got the experience, they've got the chemistry, they've got the team behind them. They've got, above the line. I don't think they've won without one of the teams hitting opponents or spinner's choice. And if they have, it's been like one time. Whereas the Patriots game is never having opponents in spinner's choice. I think I got to give it to the Patriots. They're just the dominant force. I think they're keeping that belt.
I think also the only times that above the line hasn't had spinners or opponent's choice, they've also hit like 70s or 80s. Like I don't know what it is with that wheel.
Yeah.
That wheel loves Drew McWeedy, and it suddenly loves Sam Levine. So they've had some pretty good breaks.
From enemies to best friends, definitely.
Yeah. And now we go to our main event. Personally, for me, this is the toughest one to predict. This could literally go either way. We have Sam Levine, who had a really, like, when you look at the Schmodown bracket before the tournament started, I think maybe like I would say probably 35% of people might have had Levine over Roca, and then even after that, Levine over Bibbiani. I'd probably say again 35% people had Levine over Bibbiani, but even after that, like he had John Roca, he had Rachel, and then he ended it off with JTE. So just plowed over people, and then you have Christian Harloff, who, like we said before we started here, this like quietly has had a little bit of a streak going. Like he had a win against Bakuga, and then he went on to face off against a bunch of other people, and like with the exception of his team match against Top 10, he's yet to lose. So
Yep.
with that being said, I think I'm gonna pick Levine. Um, I don't really know. I pretty well flipped a coin before the match started, and I thought, okay, Levine, I guess, is gonna win. But it could really go either way. Caleb, who do you have winning the main event?
I got the champ. I got the commissioner. I got Harloff, man. Like you said, I don't think he's lost. Really all year. I mean, literally, he was like, "I'm retiring next time I lose," and then has not lost. And he like, dude, the revenge tour was a success. It like he's been killing it, and then like he won the belt like in a admittedly a very surprising and very strange championship match, but he earned it. And if you look at the highlight reels of this year, or even the past 2 years, and look at Harlov, like he's on a bunch of those. Because even the ones that he lost, like he was in the points record setting match with Roca. Like these like even the ones he lost last year were like hard fought battles. I don't think he's going down now. I think Thad's staying our commissioner for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. So TM to end it off here. Who do you have winning the Big Daddy?
Well, to go over a little history, Harloff and Levine, both of these two are very, very strong players. One with Harloff, who started this in the 2014 tournament, 1 win away from facing Mark Riley, and he could have right there become the first ever champion, but it was Mark Riley against Makuga. Makuga beating Harloff on a Blue Fairy question.
The fucking Blue Fairy.
Exactly, a lot of people. But with Mark Ellis, he came in with teams and ran the table and became the first team champions. But I have a feeling, yes, he's had his wins, he's had his losses, and he's had a good streak so far. And that title match where he won it from Dan was, I think, our lowest scoring title match I think we've seen for the singles championship.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And both of them not having a strong game, surprisingly, from someone like Dan Murrell, who's been a heavy powerhouse, but at the same time, with all that drama that went on over at Screen Junkies, that probably was playing with his head where he wasn't focused as much.
Well, he had personal issues, too, with his girlfriend?
Yeah. But, I mean, and Harloff won that, and there's nothing – yeah, there's nothing spiting on Harloff for winning that because he won it fair and square, and he's held it since. But with Sam, when he first came into the league, he had a couple matches under his belt. He was touted as the next big thing, like everyone with a couple matches under their belt, like we've seen with Clark Wolf, Bibiani, Drew. We've seen it so many times. But after all that heavy lossing, heartache, drama with the wheel, I guess you could say, before they were mandated to go to couples therapy. He teamed up with Drew McWeeny after winning the free-for-all, which his last opponent was Tom Dagnito. If you lose against Tom Dagnito, you might as well just retire there. How the hell he got that last spot, I have no fucking clue with Dagnito. But
is the equivalent of Roman Reigns getting number 30 at last year's Royal Rumble. I was ready to phone against the TV.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But Sam won the free-for-all. He faced Dan Murrell and even though he lost, he had one of the strongest matches thus far in a championship match, and he almost had him. And riding that with teaming with Drew McWeeny, I really think him and Drew have sharpened each other, and he's the first person in history of the Schmodown to take the singles and team tournaments in the same year. That was him, and he did it. He had tough opponents all the way up to the last one with JTE, and he won. I think he goes in with that heavy streak with all that with him, and I think Sam wins and beats Harloff for the title.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we have our predictions for our spectacular. Just to run them over again. For myself, I have Dagnino winning the Manager Bowl. I have Whitwer winning the Star Wars. I have Inman winning Inner Geekdom. I have the chicken shit team action beating top 10. I have the Patriots not losing over above the line. And then I have Levine by literally the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, it's going to be by the skin of his teeth. Either way. So I've got for the Managers Bowl, I've got Jay Washington, Star Wars. I got Ken Knapsack, IG Navarro, top 10 for the number one contenders. Team championship, I got the Patriots. I don't think we're changing belts either of these matches, and I got the champion Harloff.
And TM, who do you have once again?
For Manager's Bowl to start it off, I think Jay Washington's going to come out, win that, and then we'll see what happens with his people's title opportunities. The second one with the Star Wars, I do think Sam gets his revenge against Ken and takes the title. With the Inner Geekdom, I think Jason Inman, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason Navarro, they're a hybrid. They hybrided.
Made a love child, and they've aged him 30 years to compete against himself.
Is genetically modified to be great at Inner Geekdom trivia.
Yeah.
But I think he comes in with that hot streak, and I think he takes the title. For the team stipulations, I have to go with top 10. I feel with their experience and with a little bit better luck, they'll have it. The team champions, I do see that changing to go to above the line. I believe they're going to come in and win that at the last second. And, of course, with the main event, I do have Sam Levine, believe in the beard, that he will beat Harloff and take the championship.
Alrighty, guys. So once again, how you're gonna enter this contest is you're gonna make a video on the Facebook event page at Schmoes Bros Trivia Show. You're gonna tell us who is gonna win. Then you're also gonna tell us, oh, gentlemen, sorry, there's one thing I forgot.
The numbers?
Yes. How many points do you think are going to be scored for the entire spectacular? Keep in mind that the line is about 240. If you were to run similar matches on the same card, you would get about 240. Caleb will start.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say let Tim start.
Yeah. Let me start, fuckers.
No, it's cool. I got my number if you want me to go.
Yeah, go ahead, Caleb.
All right. So, looking at the way you broke it down a little bit, I think it's going to be close to last year. But there's a few on here that I think are going to go extra innings a lot. So I think we're going to go somewhere around, my number is 255. About 15-ish more points scored total this year.
All right. And TM, who do you or how many points do you think are going to be scored in this entire pay-per-view event?
You said the line was about 240, you said? I'm going to go shit, because I'm never good at betting over and under. I lost small fortunes at my old job with this.
Thank God I did not do the Bob Barker rule. Can't be over the actual retail price.
Was this about going over?
Yeah, I'd probably break my computer and blame you.
$1, Bob. $1.
I'm going to go with the heavy competition we have, especially for the title matches. I will say, I'm going to say 300.
Wow.
Wow.
I'll make it big. I'm going to make it big, just like Ellis with Beauty and the Beast live action. God damn it, I'm going to go 300 for here and see what happens.
Yeah.
That'd be incredible.
A
This is
little
gonna be
fun
great,
fact that I have
spectacular.
that I found out from last year. The total from the number one contenders match in Roka versus Riley and the team championship match were the exact same. 35 points scored in both matches. So that shows you the caliber that is brought to the spectacular.
That's 70 right there.
Yeah. I am gonna go a lot lower than TM, but I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm actually gonna go a little bit lower than Caleb as well. I think the only match that is like has the possibility of being a dud in terms of points is the Manager Bowl. That could easily just be like an endurance match just to see who gets the most right.
True.
Whoever scored the first point is the winner.
Pretty well. I'm gonna say 250. It's a nice round number. I think there is going to be a little bit more. You can also see Levine Harloff once again being more of a technical match than the kind of like a shootout per se. Could be based on tough pulls more than shots fired, I guess. So yeah, once again, I am going to say 250. So to end the show, once again, submit your video to the event. It'll be called Mr. Spectacular. You will have until December 21st at midnight Pacific Standard Time. That is 4 in the morning over here for Atlanta, Canada, and I think Brazil is also on the same time zone. I believe that's 3 a.m. for the citizens of Ohio, and I believe that is 2 a.m. for all those Chi-Town folks. I think
that's correct. Yep.
So once again, guys, I want to thank Caleb and TM for joining me today to run down their predictions and to have this pretty fun announcement. I feel like this video got a little bit long-winded, but I had a blast. I don't know about you guys.
Absolutely, man. Anytime I get to talk about the Schmodown, I'm all in.
Yeah,
And
Caleb.
especially,
Yeah.
I was going to say, especially with explaining when you're going into statistics with matches too, it's going to take some time.
Yeah. Caleb, when is I know you kind of run the Intergeek division. When is the next IG match?
That's later today, 4:30 Eastern, so in about 3 hours, I believe.
No, in about 1 hour.
No, 2.
About an hour and a half.
Oh, shit! What time is it? It's 2:30 right now here.
Yeah, it's 3:23 over here in Eastern.
Right.
And if you said it was 4:30 Eastern, then it's like an hour.
Yeah, so it's about an hour. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in about an hour, we got Robert Parker versus Subrath, so it's going to be a bloodbath.
Nice.
And Subrath will probably back out once it gets a bloodbath.
TM, when can we find you next in the TV Trivia Throwdown?
Well, actually, our next we have 2 left for the TV qualifiers to qualify for the tournament. The next match will be Caleb, Mashed Potatoes himself, and he will be going against me for my debut into this. So Haven has the questions for this, so I can't wait to see how Haven does with the TV match running that. And our next match after that will be Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Our last qualifier will be Sandman Sandy Robinson against the Crusher, Malcolm Lay. And then next weekend, we will start with the tournament. We will just do a match a week to get the first 4 out of the way. Then we'll be down to our next ones and eventually get our champion crowned.
Excellent. For the cool kids over at Jukebox Trivia, we are not going to be having a match on Wednesday. We had some scheduling conflicts, so on Monday we're going to be doing a what I call a jukebox playlist. We're going to be counting down some of the greatest Christmas carols of all time. Caleb is going to be joining us as well as a couple kids over from Full Metal Trivia. Be sure to catch that around 9 p.m. Eastern.
Christmas songs, right? Not Christmas carols.
Oh, Christmas songs, carols, whatever.
Okay.
And then our
so I was like, shit, I gotta get rid of Alvin and the Chipmunks. I gotta.
Oh dear God, I pity you all for having to listen to that shitty album again.
You know what? It's actually not like I feel like that'd be best like if you were to smoke a joint and then just like and then listen to it and then like it would kind of might sound normal or like you might be able to understand it a little bit better.
Kind of like watching Days Confused. That also helps.
or listening to
Christmas time is here.
Oh God.
So yeah, we're gonna do a countdown Monday, and then Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern is going to be Sandy the Sandman Robertson taking on Zach Ford. That is going to be
Ooh.
That is going to be our last match of the year at Jukebox Trivia, and then we will be back New Year's Day for the January Jamboree.
Nice.
We'll be doing a match. Our matches are going to be every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Schedule pending. There will be some times where schedules come up and schedules.
It's a schedule?
Schedule. All right, guys. For Caleb and TM, my name is Brooklyn. Have a good night. Be sure to get those videos in. Peace out.